What's up, Aries? I'm Chris. Welcome to your March 2019 Taroscope. Aries, I have to say, channeling your energy, getting into this reading, getting prepared to read for you guys, I am so hyped right now. I'm feeling electricity in my blood. I'm feeling fire. Like my aura just feels like lit up and fiery. And I think this month what's happening with you guys, there's like a big sense of aliveness coming into play, right? There's a big sense of pride in your accomplishments. There's motivation, there's inspiration, but there's also fun. Aries, sometimes we always think about as, this very serious sign, but you guys are young at heart. Some of you, it's going to be your birthday. Happy birthday. You guys kick off, you're the fire starters of the zodiac. And I think right now that fire is starting to fill you up. And then soon you're going to be able to spark the world with it, spark the lives of the people around you. There's this intense feeling of leadership, of self-leadership, of leadership of the people around you, of sort of being like a hero in your own life for yourself. Golden, sparkling, shiny. Being rooted, like the universe is asking you guys this month to be rooted in like the most pure version of yourself. Right? You guys represent the ego, you represent the self, and that's the role you play in the zodiac, and the role that the zodiac kind of needs you to take on in March is to be centered in yourself, to be strong, to be a leader, but by being a leader to yourself first. All right, so guys, let's go ahead and jump into the reading here. Quick note, there's not going to be any private readings available for March. You can check out the weeklies in case things become available. But you can still go ahead and donate to the channel to help us out running here. Those donations have been great, as well as, Instagram below and the decks I'm using today, right? All right, so Aries, let's go ahead and see what your central energy is. What the cards say your central energy is, because I know what your central energy is, but let's see what's coming up here for your central situation for March. Queen of Swords in reverse. So not quite what I was expecting here. I think Aries, what is being said here is that there is a call, and we've talked about this before in the past few months, right? There is a call with the Queen of Swords in reverse to stand in your truth more firmly, to be honest with yourself. I think that this month in March, Aries, you're going to see yourself having to confront a lot of things, right? I think in the ability to stand in your truth, to become powerful, to become a leader, there are some difficult things you're going to have to address. And I think right now with the energy of the Queen of Swords in reverse is showing is that you're still kind of keeping a lot of those things to yourself. I think there might be plans brewing underneath the surface that aren't coming to being yet, that you're not ready to show the world, that you're still kind of holding on to and holding close to you. And I think the month of March, Mercury retrograde is about to kick in, right? The month of March is asking you to express that, right? I think with the energy of the Queen of Swords coming up here in reverse, it's asking you to sort of the work we're going to be doing this month is to get this upright, to get you into a place where you're standing in your truth, you're standing in your power. I think there are some separations that need to be made here, Aries. So things that are holding you down, like I think ways of being, habits. I think it's more specifically people, places, and things. So some of you might need to cut ties with a job. Some of you might need to be cutting ties with the relationship. And the Queen of Swords here is telling you, one, you have to trust your instincts. You have to trust that you know what's right. And I think that what's happening also is that you might have been waiting for the right timing. And I think this month is going to show the timing is right now. The timing for you to make those moves, the timing for you to make those communications, to make those cuts, to move closer into the purest version of yourself happens this month. And this ties into what I was saying from the beginning, right? With the Queen of Swords, we are asking you to stand in the truth of who you are, to be most truthfully and honestly yourself. And here in our ideals, Aries, we have the dark moon, and I'm thinking that you guys are just like not quite ready for it, right? I think that right now what you're kind of wanting is time to recuperate, time to just have fun, time to relax, time to not have to be super serious. And I think that's what the Queen of Swords in reverse is also saying, is the resistance to taking the serious steps and being like having to make those harsh choices, having to be like an adult. And I think that the energy here is not bad, right? Because we are, like I said, we're going to your season. Aries is like the baby of the zodiac, right? Like you guys are the firstborn, right? The spark of life. And I think what's happening here is that you guys just kind of want to enjoy, I think, for a little while, right? You kind of want March to be a month of just enjoyment, of relaxing, of coming back to yourself. And I think maybe what this is saying is in April, especially for a lot of you April Aries, there is a sense of like things picking up then and things getting really strong and movement forward happening. But I think that there's a little bit of inner work still to be done with these two cards coming up, right? A sense of need for reflection, a sense of need for going within and figuring out what you want and what you're about. So, and I think the fire I mentioned earlier is like a motivation. Like the besides the fact that this moon is dark, I also, when I was looking at it, was getting a sense of wanting to be the ones to light the match that fills the darkness with light. So I think that Aries, like, while you are in this time of maybe needing to pull back yourself and get right with yourself and figure out what makes sense for you now and figure out what you're about now, there is this need also, like, that in doing so, that's going to be the thing that drives you forward. You know, I think that you guys know what you need and know what you know the way things are going to turn out, know that way things are going to work out. Like, I think you're seeing really clearly. Now the thing is just to align your vision and align your sight with what you're actually doing and make sure that it's lining up with what's going on the inside too. See, and now we have the moon as the card coming up in your past here. And Aries, there's a lot, again, that you've been holding on to really closely. A lot of things that are not being expressed, a lot of pain and discomfort. If it's not as extreme as pain, there's a lot of discomfort and unhappiness, I think, that's kind of been shoved down for a while and kind of been repressed. And even though this is coming up in the past, I do feel like what this is leading towards is the card's telling you there's a need to let that shit out. That you need to let go, that you need to sort of this month begin to tap into like that animal nature. I know last month I asked you guys to handle things gently, but Aries, this month I want you to fucking, excuse my language, I just want you to go. I just want you to like attack, to unleash, right? And when I was meditating on you guys earlier, this kind of makes sense because I was seeing like being like the emperor, yes, but like kind of leading people into battle, and it was a battle that felt very just. It felt like it was righteous. It felt like you were protecting something. It felt like you were doing the right thing by going into battle. And so that's the little caveat I want to give you here, Aries, is that if you do, like, I do want you to let loose, but I want you to let loose for things that are honest, for things that are true, for things that are just. I want to emphasize that word, just, right? This month I'm doing the signs by polarities, and your polarity is Libra, so the next one I'm going to be recording is Libra. Libra is all about justice and fairness, right? Even though you guys are opposites, you share an axis of the zodiac, and I think that has to do a lot with leadership and fairness and stuff like that, right? And what's just and what's right. Like Aries can get so fired up about injustices, you know what I mean, and want to fight people because like they don't think something's fair. So Aries, I think this month is asking you to tell a bitch a little bit, you know what I mean? Like no one's gonna check you right now, Aries. Who gonna check you, boo? Nobody. And so it's okay to sort of speak up a little bit. It's okay to, like, this is one of the things I love about you guys, how you have this like ability to confront things, because my like get along with everybody Gemini Sun Libra Moon is like, oh, let's just be nice and get along. And I sometimes envy your ability to like tell somebody about themselves. And you see here, Aries, we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. So we're also talking, you see what I was saying about like, with the Nine of Cups, we're talking about happiness and joy and wishes fulfilled and getting what you want. And in the past, like, this is what you've been like pushing down. Like, you might have been trying to put on a brave face for a while, Aries. I think you might have been trying to go through the motions for a little while. You've been like neglecting your needs and wants and desires. Maybe like filling it with stuff that wasn't actually what you wanted, or like meaningful desires, right? Because the Nine of Cups can also represent like cheap thrills and things, surface level things that we just do to fill a void, but aren't actually bringing us happiness and satisfaction. So Aries, I think this month is pushing you towards making this upright again, right? Moving from a place where this unhappiness was kind of glossed over and pushed down and pushed aside, to now coming to a place where what you have in your life is meaningful. we have we have Chiron entering your sign, and what's happening there, I think, is Chiron is the wounded healer. It's the part of us that needs to express and needs to heal. And moving into your sign, Aries, I think that there's going to be for you guys, a lot of purging and a lot of healing and a lot of, you know, to me, what I'm seeing here, all of this like internal dark, messy stuff here. Like, look at all these cards, like how kind of repressive this energy is, how dark and internal it is, and repressed, again, repressed. And Aries, I think this month is asking you to let it out, and you need to heal, and you need to like let the gunky stuff that you've been pushing down kind of come out of you, right? As ugly and harsh as it might be sometimes, we now have the Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles wrapping up the past here. So I think there's also a connection here, Aries, to the work that you have that's meaningful, right? Well, as many of you might be dealing with relationship issues that need to sort of be acknowledged and the unhappiness there addressed, but I think and meaning found in your connections to people. But I think for a lot of you also, there's a need for change in your career. There's a need for change in what you do for a living. Like, not everybody gets to do their dream job, Aries, but you know, I think there's a call here to move closer to that. I think that there's an ask here to take like your happiness on all levels super seriously, right? To channel that fiery, no one's gonna hold us down. Like, you know how you can do that easily when it comes to confrontations and fights sometimes. Put that energy into being like a boss, like when it comes to what you do for a living, right? That energy, that fire in you doesn't always have to be channeled towards anger. It doesn't have to be always channeled towards fighting. It can be channeled towards like killing the game, you know what I mean? And now here at a turning point, we have our Page of Wands also in reverse. So Aries, with all these reversals, there's a strong sense of, again, internal realities being something that's like hard to deal with this month, and like you've been inside a lot, so much inside yourself. And now here we are, Aries, at the turning point of our reading, where the Page of Wands is in reverse. So things not getting started, right? Especially when it comes to your passions, when it comes to your dreams, things not really taking off, like feeling the drive, feeling the fire, but then there's just this frustration. There's this like inner, like almost like stuckness, right? Like you have all this fire in you, and this is where Aries, when you don't express that energy, when you don't let it out of you, when you don't channel it into productive things, it manifests as partying too much. It manifests as you know, using sex as escapism. It manifests as fighting, right? Anger, hostility. And so Aries, I think this month, this energy needs to come out of you. And how does it come out of you? By being honest, by being truthful, by cutting things off that you know like are done, right? Because the Queen of Swords energy is much more mature than the Page of Wands. So she is experienced. She is ready to like handle life in a real way. And then when you do that, this gives this energy the ability to express itself and to come into fruition and come into maturity, right? But it has to be allowed to be expressed. So Aries, I think this month you are going to have to make strides towards your career, strides towards things that you're passionate about, right? Even if it's not, you know, a dream career, I think hobbies are really important to get invested in. I think things like exercise, like things that make you feel alive, get your blood pumping, get you like passionate and excited, need to come out. And going towards the future here, guys, we have the King of Swords. So I think some of you are dealing with especially now here we have like a sort of union, and I think that there's something off about this union for a lot of you. So whether that's like the relationship itself needs to die, or maybe something about it has not been fulfilling in certain ways, right? And I think this partly Aries could come back to you. I almost said a friend of mine's name who's in Aries. I don't, maybe if you're watching, I'm not going to say your name. But that almost came out. Anyway, there's something that's about you and your handling of things right now that needs to be a little addressed, right? The King of Swords is hard, but you can handle him, right? And I think Aries, what this is like, it's not also just like you're doing anything wrong. I think you just needed to be in a time of addressing yourself and fixing things with yourself and going within and figuring out who you are, right? Tiffany, I almost said. If you're watching, Tiffany, that was for you, girl. But this is positive energy. So I think that you guys, Aries, you're gonna have someone around you who is supportive, especially if it is a spouse, who is going to be loving this month, who's going to be there for you. If it's not a spouse, I think there's some support that comes to you. When I was meditating on you guys, I felt like a very strong sense of feeling love and feeling connection to family and friends. So Aries, either way, I think you have people around you this month who are going to be there for you. If it's not your significant other, which for some of you, like in committed relationships and marriages, especially for you, those of you in marriages, I think that this energy is like your spouse and it is supportive. But for those of you just like dating somebody or in a relationship, I don't know if it comes from that, because this energy matching with the Queen of Swords is very committed in a real way. For the rest of you, that comes from family, right? That comes from especially if you have air sign people, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, especially like Aquarius or Gemini, I feel. There's a support that comes from people around you that helps you kind of move forward and helps you get clear in your head and helps you like move towards getting the things that you want. Hey, so Aries, in March we have you embracing the energy of the world. We're moving forward with you getting the things that you want. Fucking Tiffany, if you're trying to get pregnant, you might get pregnant. I'm sorry. Anyway, for the rest, yeah, fuck. For the rest of y'all, again, I'm sorry for the swearing. I think that in March, a chapter of your life closes. I think especially for some of you who are in bad relationships, that relationship is over. I think that the big steps, like doors close on relationships that just don't work anymore. But for those of you who are in happy relationships or your relationship is fine, I think what's happening here is a next level movement towards in your life, right? Like the King of Swords can be very aggressive, very harsh, and I think that what's happening is that part of you is moving out of existence, because now it gets to be expressed in a way that's honest and true. So and then also I feel like Aries, I think you're going to be, I don't know what this means, but I think you're going to be like getting something this month. I think that there's going to be something that comes to you, whether it's like a gift or an opportunity. And I'll show you the way the cards are, but like you can see here, like the way the Queen of Swords is holding her hand out to the world. It's as if like now when you get into your truth, when you be honest with yourself, opportunities come your way. So any of you looking to change careers, I think especially is a big one. You're gonna have an opportunity in March to do stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come out of thin air, but like if you've been applying and interviewing, like there's success there for you guys. Again, I think a lot of planning energy here. I think Aries is like ready to start over, ready to start new. This is us entering your season where we're in messy ass Pisces season right now, where we're like all up here and all up here, you know, and it's making us feel like this. But now when we move into your season, guys, like it's a fresh start. It's ability to be brand new, and some people are calling it like the actual start of the new year. It's the start of the new zodiac year, right? And then here we go, Pisces. We have Pisces, fucking Aries. We have the last bit of the moon before it turns dark. I can't remember the name, like waning gibbous, I want to say. But anyway, the point of this is that things are moving, chapters are closing. Things are moving out of existence, like something that was hanging on for a long time, things that were like clinging to you, and now we move here, right? So we're moving towards this place of security and space and like inner peace and inner harmony within ourselves, right? But right now, like there are things that still need to be let go of, Aries. So March is a month where you need to like focus on closing chapters, but also in this time of the moon we're making plans, we're releasing, but we're also looking ahead and thinking about what comes next for us, and making plans. So Aries, this month is a big month for making plans and big deals. Bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. So I think that for a lot of you, there is is a sense of real support and love this month, whether it comes from a significant other or family or friends. I think this month is where you feel the love in a big way, and this is really inspiring and stabilizing for you. I think for some others, it's just about like inner peace and and like finding your inner richness, your inner wealth, finding peace of mind, peace of heart, you know, doing better in like things like career and things that are meaningful to you, right? So let's look at the cards real quick, so you guys can see where we go this month. We go from, you know, being in this place where now the cards are asking you, Aries, to turn upright, and you turn upright by being honest, and you're in reflection. You want things to end. You want to stop repressing things. You want to stop silencing yourself. You want to move towards meaning, and you want ambitions to take off, like career ambitions, personal ambitions. Like this is a big energy of people that want to get started and just need to go. And then we move here towards this sort of release, this sort of like being very wise and being grounded in your mind, and sharp-minded, and planning for the future, and figuring out what things need to go and what no longer serves you. And then Aries, we end the month with seeing those things kind of falling out into being, and now we come full circle where that dark moon is not just about being introspective, but it's also about having a fresh start, right? Being so brand new. Around the new moon at the end of the month, it is going to be not at the end of the month. The new moon in April, in the start of April, where we have the new moon in your sign. I think it's going to be an excellent time where you see things start to manifest, right? Where the work you do this month in March, you're going to see it happen in April. Here, as our outcome card, Aries, we have the Magician. So everything we've been saying about making things happen, about manifesting, about really digging your hands in deep and getting things off to a good start, of creating. This is also an energy of fresh start, of acknowledging your talents and your skills and your resources, and putting those to use. And I think, Aries, this month is just going to see you making life-changing decisions, right? Making life-changing choices, creating, manifesting for yourself, using your wits, using your intelligence, using your skill, using your grace with people to get ahead, right? All right, Aries, that was a beautiful reading. I think that this month you have a lot to look forward to. It's a time of change and transition for most people, right? January, we were kind of starting off one way. February, I felt like the pendulum swung hard the other way. And now in March, we kind of find the middle ground. We find the stability, we find the balance, and that's the foundation we need to start brand new. All right, guys, I love you so much. I'll see you in April, and you have the best month ever. Happy early birthday. I love you with all my heart. I'll see you guys soon.